What's going on today? We got another episode of Riding the Lightning with your boy, Blue Eye. I'm back in the building. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, like, and comment down below. Today's episode, we talking about family. I know y'all been waiting on it. And I'm going to give y'all a little bit about me and my history. Since I got so much on my mind. Right. Because nowadays, I feel like most of the problem that is going on goes along with when people are saying it starts at home. I believe that. Not only when it comes to teaching, but when it comes to loving and supporting your children. Enough so you don't have children that are going back and forth to jail and children that are just causing havoc. Enough love and support and keep a child away from that. But let's get into it. I feel, and I'm going to be honest, if you look at the statistics, this is what's really going on. Young black men are experiencing trauma and abuse from their families, right? Mainly, I'm gonna give you an example, right? Because you only output what you are given. They say, if you eat shit, that's what you become. Shit, right? That's what you begin to smell like. That's what they, you know what I mean? So now let's really get into it, right? If you tell a kid, right, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass, right? Just because they did something wrong, you know, that was disrespectful. You don't know how much effect that has on that kid. You might think, oh, yeah, it should make him understand, you know, he shouldn't do that again. I'm not saying you shouldn't beat your kids, because if they get totally out of line and super crazy, yeah, maybe you should. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on what we're talking about whipping. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to really get into this. You tell that kid, I'm going to whoop your ass. Right? That kid gets older, gets into a scenario where they have a problem with somebody, or the person does something they don't like. Just like their kid did something you didn't like and you had a problem with what the kid did. The kid gets older, and what does they say to that person? I'm going to whoop your ass, or I'm going to beat your ass. Just like what you said to them, right? You don't know it subliminally affects them. But you can also tell a kid you love them. You can also tell a kid that you want to do everything. You think that they can do everything in their power. You know what I'm saying? They could do anything in the world. that subconsciously affects a child, which you don't know how much it does. Me, being a father myself, I experienced it. Before I started telling my daughter so much, how much she could be all she could be, she wasn't always getting good grades. Now, she's getting good grades, like all the time, the honor roll. You know what I'm saying? And she probably just doesn't see it as what I'm saying is subconsciously affecting her, but I know it because I read this type of stuff. So before you think I'm talking out my ass, just Google it. All right? And you can find so much information. Since a lot of people don't like to read, you can find so many videos on this too, on this certain topic. Now, if we want to get deep into it, not showing them enough love and support and abuse makes them go out and look for support, right? And love, right? Because sometimes, a lot of times, to be honest, it is needed. Especially growing up as a kid. And we overlook these facts because I understand. Us as black people, we were taught to not show too much love. We try to keep a barrier so we don't look vulnerable. So when our parents went through these stages, you know what I'm saying, they got older and had children and forgot what love really was and treated us like shit, but tried to show a little bit of love at the same time. Some of us, I see, didn't really experience that. But a lot of us got treated the way their parents treated them. And just because that was one way of parenting, don't mean that was the only way. That don't mean that's exactly how you're supposed to do it. To be honest. Because your parents did it one way, don't mean you have to do it the same exact way. You know what I'm saying? If, you know what I'm saying, you see your parents are not rich and successful, then maybe the way their parents did it wasn't the way, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't too good. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have a house and a car, you know what I'm saying? Like, dog, but you forget that it's a new generation, right? Systematic changes where they keep to make people more dependent on the government, you know what I'm saying, confuses people to a certain level where they don't understand where to go and what to do to get out of certain positions in life, right? And if you're so smart, right, you the parent, right, you know what to do, teach, right? You got a house, you got a car, right? Don't be mad if your children ain't got it. Teach. Help them along the way. Is that so hard? Instead of sitting back and talking shit, oh, why ain't you doing da-da-da-da-da-da? Why ain't you could be, you know what I'm saying, you should have been. I don't know why you don't. Instead of doing all of that, support. say, I know you can do this. Yo, I got you. I got your back. I believe in you. I'm going to support you. Whatever you need, I'm going to help you out along the way. And that actually helps them. Instead of talking shit. But we don't know how to support. We just accuse people. Our own children of shit. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest. I'm hitting on points. And I'm not going to just talk about. Mainly, the only reason why I bring up mainly all of this is because I experienced a lot of this trauma with my family. You know what I'm saying? Well, I got blood relatives that I wouldn't consider family. Right? Now, before I get into it all the way, I'm going to say this. It's a clear example of what's going on in the community, right? Let's say in the black community, let's look at it like two kids. Two kids, right? A parent comes and give them one toy. They'll share that toy, but eventually they're going to end up fighting over it. The parent comes in the room, asks them, who started it? You know, one kid's going to be like, it was him. Another kid's going to be like, it was him. Then the parent's just going to take the toy away. Right? Now, all they see is each other. Right? So, they're going to end up fighting each other. It's the same thing in the black community. They take out all of our resources, our good schools, our good food. You know what I'm saying? We don't see the people taking this shit out. We just see each other. Now we fighting over the resources, the good food, the money, the good jobs. You know what I'm saying? The good schools and we love to scramble over the little resources that they give the black community. Now, let's fully get into it. I've been through a lot in my life. A whole lot, right? I've been accused of a whole bunch, right? And mainly members of my family, right? They would accuse me of things I didn't do, right? And then paint a false narrative about me and to the rest of the family because this person's older than me. It's true. But the rest of the family didn't use their common sense and think, like, this person's not with me, this person's not, don't see me but basically 2, probably 3, 4 times of the year, and how can they know everything about me? I don't call them, I don't barely see them, so why do they assume they know everything I'm doing? Because they hear a couple of things. This goes back to where I say your family just is not supportive and loving enough at all. You know what I'm saying? Because why are you accusing me of shit? All these false narratives, allegations, for what? I'm supposed to be family. That's fake love. Right? They couldn't imagine it happening to them. But when it's happening to somebody else, it is completely all right. See, a lot of people don't understand that if the community had more people to talk to, it would be a whole lot better. See, a lot of us hold shit in. And in a black community, we talk to people, right, about some of our shit that we feel deep about, right? And the motherfucker be in his phone, or a bitch should be in her phone, and just not really caring. It's just, yeah, and you could just tell they don't really care, but you feel deeply about what you're saying. So after a while, you go around and you keep telling people, and they just, yeah, and you don't feel like telling people no more. And this is even before phones. This type of shit was happening. Motherfuckers just didn't have nothing to say about shit that you felt deeply about. People in the black community, it's like we just don't care, right? So after a while, you stop telling people about deep shit you feel deeply about. Now you holding it in. Then it becomes like a bottle, right? And then eventually that bottle, that shit, all that shit that you keep going through and you keep holding it in, not venting it out, it's gonna overflow. And that's what causes anger. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we are holding in too much. And nobody tries to help release some of that pain, release some of that anger, knowing what you go through, seeing it, experiencing it with you. But they still try to give you a headache. Still try to go through, you know what I'm saying, put you through some bullshit. I understand, y'all. I go through the same shit. But some of these black men, they're not going to be as strong as me. What they're going to do is they're going to go crazy. They're going to lose their mind. And people get stabbed. People get shot. And you can look at it. You can look at it how you want to look at it. You just think they so crazy. But I guess people's mind is so simplistic, right? We supposed to be for our people and not listen to this and not listening to that. But we forget what our leaders said. And then we forget all about our leaders. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King was the biggest leader that we ever had. And a lot of words that if you go back and listen to him, the words that him and Malcolm X, if you go back and listen to some of his words, it's the reason why they try to hide them. They'll help you with shit that's going on today and would probably make us not even be fighting no more. You know what I'm saying? But people don't want to listen to that shit. They want to listen to the most negative shit they could fucking find. Right? So when you wonder why your kids is like this, let's look at some of the negative shit that you might watch. The shit that's telling you, the shows that's telling you, yeah, you maybe should beat your kids. The shows that's showing you us making fun of each other. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny. But it conditions your mind to make you think that it's okay to talk about people. We don't even consider that fact. Right? And then our parents watch that shit so much. the comedy shit where they're talking about each other and making fun of each other in these shows like back in the days, like Family Matters and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Family Matters, but those shows conditioned our parents' minds to make them think that it was okay to make fun of their own kids, because they was seeing that shit so much. And a lot of people gonna be like, no, that's not true. Let me show you how it's true, okay? Because, you know what I'm saying, I'm good with this. I'm shit, nigga, I'm a motherfucking goddamn artist at this, nigga. I switch blade and cut the motherfucker up with this shit. You know what I'm saying? This knowledge shit. You're not talking to a motherfucking new ninja. You know what I'm saying, nigga? I'm one of the motherfucking Ninja Turtles. You see the band, the headband, you know what I mean? Shit. I got me a fucking black belt in this shit. But let me show you, right? How it's clear. Reason why that type of shit happens, right? Is because, let's say you have a virgin boy, right? You have a virgin little boy, right? And you put him in the room with a bunch of naked women, right? Every day. Bunch of naked women, titties everywhere, all over the place, all in his face. They just playing with each other and telling him, come on, let's, I know you don't want to be a virgin no more, right? He might be able to resist for a little while because he's young. But after a while, he's going to indulge in some pussy. It's the same thing in the hood. They keep flooding us with so much negative shit all the time. Eventually, we going to indulge in it. That's why you got to turn off the program. Now, a lot of parents be like, the program. Listen, it's not just parents, dog. They know that you're not loving and supporting enough. This is the people that are programming our rappers to say the worst shit that they can say. Because if you listen to shit back in the 90s, every fucking rap on the radio wasn't about killing and fuck a nigga up and shoot him and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of them, but songs in the 90s, dog, were a whole lot different. It was a whole lot more understandable. They had a whole more lot intellect in them too. They was telling you stories. They was saying real shit, and they was giving you facts. Now let's get into it.
Approaching a railroad.
We don't never look at this shit. When you look at the raps now, right? They are trying to program you to kill yourself. I understand I listen to rap, but there's a difference between idolizing it and liking it. When you idolize it, you try to become like that. But I know the difference between these rappers and the image that they're trying to output. Okay? Because y'all forget that Styles P, Jada Kiss, and Sheik Luch were some of the realest rappers that they ever fucking had. Realest niggas in the streets. Tupac, right? But these niggas were educational. Tupac even shot a cop before any nigga think, because this nigga was smart and went to college, this nigga was still on some gangster shit. Nigga, for any foolish ass nigga that got anything to say. You know what I'm saying? He was always, y'all niggas already know. Niggas shot him, sticking up middle fingers like, fuck you, spitting out blood at niggas and shit. Nigga, that nigga was still on some gangster shit. But he had a good side, you know what I'm saying? A good heart. He wanted to see the best in people, dog, and people do better, dog, and get out the hood. You know what I'm saying? This is why I said I'm gonna tell y'all about me, because that's me. I grew up listening to Tupac and characters like that. You know what I'm saying? So I sit on top of the fence. Yeah, my feet is dangling in the good side. My feet is definitely dangling in the good side. But at any given moment, because like remember what I said, I'm sitting on top of the fence. So I'm unbalanced. So at any given time, I could just fall into the negative. I could just fall back into the negative because I'm unbalanced. And you keep throwing this shit in my face. If you really fucking love me, you would tell me how much you support me and didn't want me to do nothing bad. That's real love. You know what I'm saying? You would tell me how much you believe in me. People knowing that my mom just died. How many of you motherfuckers try to sit down with me and have a drink and just talk about how I feel, about what's going on and all the shit going on in my life and all of that, just to try to get to know me? I gotta. This is the problem. You got your family send you out to look for friends in a neighborhood of broken people that don't know how to be friends. So they expecting other people to do what they should. So when these other people don't and they're not, how are you supposed to feel? They just expect that these other people are doing things that friends do. They don't know what's going on in you. They just assume everything. And this is why there's so many young men out here going crazy and killing people. Because it starts at home first. They need that support. And they be told that they are loved and cared about before they go out there and try to look for that shit and don't get it, and then they are isolated and don't give a fuck about nothing. This is why niggas is out here. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because there ain't no love. This your boy Blue Eye. I'm gonna talk to y'all next time. Make sure you leave your likes and your comments down in the comment box. Make sure you subscribe. It's your boy. I'm out.